Welcome back, everyone. Emma here. Thanks for tuning in to yet another yoga class. If you've been enjoying these classes, I would so appreciate your subscription and a thumbs up on the videos that you love. The past few weeks, we've been doing shorter and slightly more beginner or easier classes. So I want to ramp it back up for you guys. This one is challenging, it's fun, it's creative. So make sure you kind of put on a big screen if possible so you can easily look over if you get lost on the cueing. With that being said, if there's a specific pose or something you'd like to see in one of the upcoming classes, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comments. I will try to incorporate that in so you guys are getting exactly what you want out of this channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started on our backs today. You can come all the way down onto your back. Anything that's comfortable. So you can take a Shavasana. You could bring your bottoms of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, or bring the feet about mat's distance and let the knees fall towards each other into a knock knee position. So maybe you try out all three of those options and choose what feels best to you to start. Arms can be by your side or one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. On your next exhale, clear out your lungs completely. So try to really compress, push all of that air out. On your inhale, I'd like you to focus on filling up the top half of your torso. So think your lungs, your chest, your collarbones, your throat. Exhale, deep sigh, let it go. Next breath in, I'd like you to focus on filling up to the bottom of the rib cage, the diaphragm, the sternum, the heart space, and then again all the way up through the collarbones and the throat. Exhale, deep sigh to let that go. This time, take a really big, deep belly breath. So think of breathing all the way into your hips, your lower belly, around the belly button, even the sides of the waist, the obliques. And then, of course, the rest of the torso, the chest, the lungs. Deep sigh to let go. 2 more deep belly breaths just like that. Allow your stomach, your chest to press up towards the sky. Exhale, you let it all go. One more, just like that. Even just with those few rounds of breath, you've created a lot more space and awareness in your body. Let's keep that for the remainder of class. Take a big stretch, send your legs forward, arms overhead. And then hug both knees into your chest. Circle your knees, either keeping them together or pulling the knees away from each other. You choose what feels best to get started. Nice and gentle, should feel good on the low back. And then wherever you are, switch directions. We'll take one more. Hug your knees back into your chest. Keep your right knee in towards you. Left leg can either extend all the way. If you're not feeling that just yet, bend the left knee so the foot's on the mat. 2 options there. Hug the right knee a little bit outside of the rib cage. So think knee towards your armpit and then roll out the right ankle. If your left shoulder blade starts to peel up off the mat, see if you can pull it back down. Let's send that right leg straight up. Clasp your hands behind your hamstring. Active flex of both feet. So imagine your right heel is stamping the ceiling or the sky above you. The left heel is stamping whatever's out in front of you. Try to drive your right leg forward, but your arms try to pull it back. So 2 equal but opposite forces. Engage your arms, squeeze your core. Think belly button towards your spine. And then slide your hands either up towards your calf or your ankle. Pick your head and shoulders up off the mat. Keep the active flex of your left foot. Can you drive your navel down towards your spine? Pick the shoulder blades up off the mat. Lift your chin a little away from your chest for 3, 2, 1. Lower your head and shoulders. Option 1, right peace sign fingers to the right big toe. Option 2, slightly easier, bend your right knee. Use your hand on your knee to pull your right leg to the right. So your leg is straight with your peace sign fingers to your big toe, or your knee is bent with your hand to your knee. Left hand, reach to the left or top of the left thigh. Breathe into your right hip, the right inner thigh. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Bring your right leg all the way back up. Option 1, your leg is straight. Left hand to the outside of the right foot and twist. Option 2, bend the knee. Left hand to the right knee and twist. Right arm can reach all the way out into T or cactus arm shape with the palm face up. Melt the right shoulder blade down. Think of right hip going forward, twist from your torso, and then we'll go ahead and unwind that. Right leg straight up. Let's go ahead and switch. So extend your right leg, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Right leg can be all the way straight, or you can have a bend to that knee, foot down. Start to roll out your left ankle as you hug your left knee towards your armpit. Avoid the rib cage as much as possible. Slightly tuck your chin, lengthen your spine. And then send your left leg straight up, clasp your hands behind your hamstring. Both feet flexed and active. Right heel stamping forward, left heel stamping up. Squeeze that right glute, engage your inner thighs. Arms try to pull your leg back, but the leg tries to go forward. And then slide your hands up towards your calf or your ankle. Pick your head and shoulders up off the mat. Right foot stays active. Think of knitting your ribs towards your hips. Can you lift your chin a little bit away from your chest? And slowly release that. Option 1, left peace sign fingers to the left big toe. Option 2, bend the knee and catch it. Either way, you're bringing your left leg out to the left, open hips. Keep your right heel driving forward, right shoulder blade down. Breathe space, awareness into your left hip, left inner thigh for 3, 2, 1. Bring your leg all the way up through center. Leg can stay straight. Right hand to the outside of your left foot, or bend your knee, right hand to the left knee, and supine twist. Try to keep the left shoulder on the mat. It's not important if your left knee makes it all the way down, but we want the shoulder blade to stay there. Think of left hip going forward. That might help facilitate a deeper twist for 3. Deep breaths. 2, 1. Unwind through center. Hug both knees into your chest. Catch behind your hamstrings. Start to rock up the length of your spine. Tailbone all the way through the back of your neck. On these next few rounds, see if you can float the toes as you come up. You'll have to engage your core just a bit more. Let's say 2 more, and after that last one, use your momentum, maybe the strength of your hands, to come all the way up to a standing forward fold. We'll meet in the standing forward fold with a really wide stance. Mat's distance, parallel the outsides of your feet with the edges of your mat. Bend your knees a lot so your belly kind of rests on or in between your thighs. Catch opposite elbows here and find a gentle sway side to side. Bend and straighten into your legs. Kind of press down through the outer edges of your feet like you're trying to lift the arches. That will help engage your inner thighs, therefore helping you fold a little bit more. Switch the grip so the opposite elbow's on top. Find a little bit of stillness here. So you might notice on your inhale, your sternum kind of reaches forward. On your exhale, the crown of the head melts towards the mat. Unclench your jaw, soften your face. Release your hands to the mat. Lift your palms, press through the pads of your fingers. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten your back. Bend your knees as much as you need to get there. Kind of puffing your tailbone back, crown of the head forward. Can you give a slight tuck to your chin? The shoulder blades pull back. Exhale, forward fold. Squeeze your transverse abs. 2 more like that. Keep your knees bent. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to a plank position. Shoulders stacked over your wrists. Dome your upper back. Imagine kind of the heels of the hands and the toes coming towards each other. So almost like you're trying to scrunch up your mat. Knit your ribs towards your hips, scoop your tailbone towards your heels. And then like you're gonna take a chaturanga, shift your weight forward. The shoulders come past the wrists. See if you can roll onto the tops of the feet and drop the knees down to a tabletop position. If you need to adjust your hands or your knees, go for it. We're in a tabletop position. Let's flip the right wrist so the fingers point towards the knees, palm face up. Just the right wrist there. Hold and breathe into it for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach your right arm up, stack the shoulders, peel the chest open. Can you bump your hips to the left? Exhale, thread your right arm through, palm face up. Right ear to the mat, walk your left hand forward. Bump your hips slightly to the right. Press down through the back of your right hand. Stay here or left arm behind the back towards your right hip crease. Peel the left shoulder back. Breathe into your upper back for 3. Feel a lifting sensation through your inner thighs. 2, 1. Plant your left hand by your face. Inhale, right arm, reach it high. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Flip your left palm to face up. Fingertips point towards your knees. Hold here and breathe. Try to neutralize your spine. Release that. The left arm goes high. Open the chest. Exhale as you thread it through. Palm face up. Left ear to the mat. Walk your right hand forward. Hips bump slightly to the left. Belly button towards your tailbone. Stay here or wrap your right hand behind your back. Deeper twist as you peel the right shoulder back. Actively press through the back of your left hand. And release. Right hand down. Send your left arm high. Exhale, tabletop position. From here, few rounds of cat-cow or any other free movement that feels good. So maybe you start with cat-cow, dropping your belly, pulling your chest forward on an inhale, and rounding your back, chin to chest on an exhale. Maybe this motion feels great right now and you continue. If you'd rather kind of work into the hips, maybe you draw clockwise and counterclockwise circles, or maybe you kind of barrel roll out the chest, the neck, and the head. Any free movement that feels good, waking up the spine, the sides of the body. If there's any places that feel extra sticky or tight, maybe you send some extra breath, extra time there, and pause. Two more breaths. We'll meet back in a neutral tabletop position. From here, send your right leg back and then all the way off the left side of your mat. Try to look over your left shoulder towards your right heel. Stay here, or you can drop your right knee to the mat and kind of sink your hips back, almost like eagle or cow face legs. I want you to feel this in your outer hips. Shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. Lift your right leg up, bend your knee, and flex your foot. Stamp your heel towards the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes. Try to minimize the arch in your back, so engage your transverse abs. Cactus your left arm. Make a fist with that left hand. Drive the elbow towards the hip. Stay here or reach back and catch your foot. If you've got your foot, kick into your hand. Plug the right shoulder back. Bring your chin parallel to the mat for 3, 2, 1. Left hand down. Tuck your left toes. 3-legged downward facing dog. Once you're there, right knee is going to bend. Stack your right hip over your left and roll out the ankle and or the hip. If you feel your hands are going to slip forward, right hand can catch the outside of the mat, thumb on top. Drive your left heel down, square off your shoulders. Send your right leg up and back. Look towards your toes. Find your toes. Inhale. Exhale, step to your right thumb. Once you're there, drop your left knee. Sweep both arms up, low lunge. Stamp through your right heel. Bring your hands behind your head. It's like you're cradling the back of your skull. Press your head back into your hands. Elbows wider. You can feel it opening through the chest, the armpits. Lift up through your navel. And release to a half split. Hands can come to the mat. They can sweep back. You could also go for a twist with the left hand down. Choose your option as you flex your right foot. Pull the right femur bone back in towards the socket. Shoulders back, little tuck of your chin for 3, 2, 1. Your right leg can stay straight or you can put a little bend as you turn your right toes in, the left shin behind you. We're going to gate pose at the back of the mat. So left hand's at the back of the mat, right leg is straight, toes pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Right arm reaching overhead. It's a big stretch through the right side of the body. Firm your glutes to press your hip points forward. And then using the strength of your right glute, right hip, lift your right leg up. Flex your foot. You can probably feel this in the outside of the thigh. Take an inhale. As you exhale, crunch your right elbow towards your right knee and squeeze. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Last time we crunch and hold. Now listen carefully. That right foot is going to step in front of or outside of your left knee. So you kind of take a seat back onto your left heel. The right toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Bump your fingertips forward, palms up, tented. Shift your weight into your right foot as you find a standing L. The left leg goes back behind you. Now for me, my wall is close, so my knee is bent, but I really like your left leg straight as possible. Active flex of your foot. It doesn't matter so much if your right leg is straight, but try to straighten out that left leg. Great, we'll step the feet together and take a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Let the chin fall in towards the chest. As you inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, right hand grabs your left wrist, lengthen and lean over to the right. Squeeze your glutes, weight to your heels. Maybe you look up under your left armpit and then inhale back through center switch. Left hand grabs your right wrist, lean to the left. Melt the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale back through center. Bind your hands behind your back with the right thumb on top. Puff up your chest. Clamp your palms together. Inhale. We'll come back through center and take a forward fold. Melt your belly down your thighs. Keep the palms clamped. Put a little bend to your knees and take a big step out with your right foot. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold with a bind. Firm down the outsides of your feet. Squeeze your abs. That will help the crown of your head reach more towards the mat for 3, 2, 1. Release your hands down. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten your back. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. Frame your right foot. Get a good stance here. And then we're going to straighten into that right leg, lift the toes up. Look back towards your left foot. Come up higher on your left toes. Feel the inner thighs squeeze towards each other. Rebend your right knee, right arm goes high, twist. Stay here or wrap your right arm behind your back. Hug the inner thighs towards each other. Squeeze your left glute. And release. Right hand down, step your left foot up to meet your right, forward fold. Bend your knees, find a chair pose. Hands can be apart or palms to touch. Weight to your heels, shift your knees back. Gently tuck your tailbone, knit your ribs towards your hips. Great. Exhale, sweep your arms back, hover your chest. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, lift your heels, press your ankle bones forward. Gaze is down, press the back of your skull up. 3, 2. If you're on your toes, see how long you can stay there as you rise. Sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll all bring the heels to the mat as we forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten. Palm the mat, step back with your right foot, then your left foot. High plank. We'll take a Chaturanga. Inhale, shift your weight forward, knees up or down, lower halfway. Hug your arms in. Inhale, scoop your chest forward, thighs on or off the mat. Exhale, find downward facing dog, where you'll go ahead and pedal out your legs for a few breaths. This time, think of splitting the mat in half instead of scrunching it up. So imagine your feet are trying to pull the mat back, your hands are trying to pull the mat forward. Great, let's go ahead and lift the heels up, bend your knees, bear pose. Keep this bend in your knees as you shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. Drop your knees down to the mat, find a tabletop position. Toes untucked, send your left leg back, and then all the way off the right side of your mat. Look over your right shoulder, find your heel, stay here, or bend your left knee and tap it down to the mat. Shift your hips back. Think almost eagle legs or cow face legs. Squeeze the inner thighs. I want you to feel this in your hips. Shift your weight forward, shoulders over wrists. Left leg goes back with the knee bent and foot flexed. Once you're there, cactus your right arm, make a fist. Think right elbow towards your right hip. Shoulder blades pinching, squeeze your left hamstring, and then maybe you reach back and catch the foot. Otherwise, stay with that cactus arm. Kick into your hand, plug the left shoulder back. Press down through the top of the right foot for stability. Release the grip if you've got it. Right hand down, tuck your right toes, three-legged downward facing dog, left leg high. Bend your left knee, stack it over the right. Roll out the hip, the ankle, but continue to drive the right heel down towards the mat. Press your right palm forward. Left leg up and back. Look for your toes. Make sure your hips are square. Inhale. Exhale, step up to your left thumb. Drop your right knee, sweep both arms up, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inner thighs squeeze towards each other, lift up out of your waist, lengthen, and then clasp your hands behind your head. If you remember, opposite thumb on top. Elbows wide, try to hide them out of your view. Cradle your head, lift your chin up, and then really firm that right glute. Inhale back through center, exhale half split, hands to mat, float the arms back, or go for a twist. Try to do whatever you did on side one, keep it even. If you need a little bend in that left knee, it's totally okay, but keep your foot flexed. 3, 2. You can keep your left leg straight or put a little bend into the knee. Turn your left toes to point in, right shin behind you. We'll go gate pose, back of the mat. Right hand down, reach your left arm high. So left toes are pointing to the long edge of the mat, left arm up and then overhead. Should feel a nice stretch through the entire left side of your body. Press your hip points forward, squeeze your glutes, and then using the strength of your left leg, left hip, lift the leg up, foot flexed. Now I already feel this in my outer hip, my outer glute, so I hope you do too. Take a full breath in. Exhale, we'll crunch, elbow to knee, squeeze your oblique. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Last time we crunch and hold. Again, listen carefully. Step your left foot in front of or outside of your right knee. You'll probably need to sink your hips back onto your right heel. Left toes are pointing to the long edge of your mat. Bump your fingertips forward. Shift your weight into your left foot. Find a standing L. I want your hips and shoulders in one line. It's okay if your left knee is bent. Work to straighten your right leg. Active flex of your foot. Try to stack your shoulders over your wrists. And then step your feet together for a forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up. Right hand catches your left wrist and lean over to the right. Squeeze your right oblique. Lighten the toes, most of the weight in your heels. Inhale, center, switch your grip and lean to the left. Inhale, center, bind your hands behind your back with the left thumb on top. Lift your hands away from you and then down towards your heels. Chin up and bend your knees a lot as you take it into a forward fold. Keep that grip with the hands. Clamp your palms together. Put a little bend to your knees and a big step out with your left foot to a wide-legged forward fold. Feel the inner thighs lift, kneecaps lift. Release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten your back. Walk your hands to the top of your space. Frame your right foot. Frame your left foot. Once you're there, straighten your left leg. Lift up the toes. Drive the heel down and then look towards your right foot. Can you come up higher on your right toes? Feel the inner thighs scissor towards each other. Left toes back down, right hand down. Reach your left arm high for your twist. Activate your right glute. Press the hamstring up. Stay here or wrap your left arm behind your back. If you're going for that half wrap, peel the left shoulder back, broaden the collarbones. And then release your left hand down. Step your right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Bend your knees, chair pose, reach both arms up. Feel the inner thighs spiral towards each other and down. Gentle tuck of your tailbone. Little lift of your sternum, nice and proud. Inhale, exhale, sweep your arms back. Let's all try to lift those heels up. Press your ankle bones forward. Little tuck of your chin. See how long you can stay on your toes as you inhale, rise, sweep your arms up overhead. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Release, heels down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back, left foot, right foot, high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, Cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your inverted V shape. Point your fingers pointing forward. Maybe the middle ring and pinky are splayed out just a little bit. Try to press not only through your palms, but also the grippy pads of the fingers. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, step up to your right thumb. Drop your left knee, sweep both arms up. Exhale, half split. Maybe you float your arms back, hover your chest. Turn your right toes in, left shin behind you. We've been here before. Gate pose, stretch your right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Step your right foot outside of your left knee. Shift your weight forward, standing L. You're facing the long edge of your mat. Exhale, step your feet together, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. As you exhale, take a big step out with your right foot, arms come wide. Bind your hands behind your back, take a breath in. Breath out, forward fold. Clamp the palms together. Release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk it to the front, runner. Maybe you bump your feet out just a little bit. Inhale, rise, high lunge, Crescent Warrior. Squeeze your left leg, left glute. Can you bend deeper into your right knee? Bring your hands behind your head, curl back, shoulder blades towards each other. As you exhale, I'd like you to straighten your right leg, sweep your arms back. Can you press down through the ball of your right foot? I'm keeping a little bend into my right knee, which I like. If you prefer to straighten it out, it just might be a lot on the knee joint. Bind your hands behind your back, shift your weight into your right foot, shift forward, warrior 3. If the bound hands is too much, bring your hands to heart center. Flex your left foot, toes point down. Hold here in balance for 3, 2, 1. Step your feet together, bend your knees and sweep your arms up, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Palm the mat, step, jump, or float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, step up to your left thumb. Drop your right knee, sweep both arms up. Inhale, low lunge. Half split, try to float your arms back, hover your chest. Turn your left toes in, right shin behind you. Gate pose to the back of your mat. So the right hand is down, left arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Step your left foot outside of your right knee, sink back. Spring yourself forward, standing L. You're balancing on your left leg, the right leg behind you. Step your right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Look up to your hands. Exhale, big step out with your left foot. Bind your hands behind your back. Puff up your chest. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale. Release your hands, halfway lift. Walk it over to the front, runner's lunge. Widen the stance as you need. Breath in, come all the way up, Crescent Warrior. Squeeze the inner thighs, firm your right glute. Can you come up higher on your right toes? Exhale, sweep your arms back, straighten your left leg as much as possible. Drive down through the ball of your left foot. Bind your hands behind your back. Start to shift the weight into your left leg. Pick your right leg up behind you for Virabhadrasana 3. Make sure your right leg's straight. Left leg can always have a little bend for stability. Drop your right hip and right shoulder a tad to stay square. And then step your right foot to meet your left. Bend your knees, chair pose. Both arms up, take a breath in. Straighten your legs, breath out, fold. Inhale, halfway. Palm the mat, step or jump back, Chaturanga. Use your exhale to lower. Inhale to back bend. Exhale to downward facing dog. Steady your breathing. If available, work your inhales, your exhales through your nose. We'll continue to add on to that. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step up to your right thumb. Drop your left knee, both arms up. Exhale, half split, float your arms back. Right toes in, left shin behind you, gate pose to the back. Sweep your arm overhead, inhale. Crunch, elbow to knee, exhale. Step your right foot outside of your left knee, sink your hips back. Spring forward, balance on your right leg, standing L, inhale. Exhale, step, feet together, forward fold. Rise all the way up, look up. Big step out with your right foot, bind your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, wide-legged fold with a bind. Release your hands, halfway lift. Walk it over to the front, runner. Adjust your feet. Inhale, rise, high lunge, crescent A. Exhale, sweep your right arm back, your left arm forward. Press the palms back. Squeeze the inner thighs. I feel this on my left hip flexor. Hopefully you do too. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, straighten your right leg as much as possible. Sweep your arms back. Bind your hands behind your back. Shift your weight into your right leg, warrior 3 with a bind. As you come to stand, release your grip, hug your left knee into your chest. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, figure 4. Both hands come to heart center. Knees are bent, left foot actively flexed. Stamp down through your right heel. You'll come to stand, left knee out in front of you. Option 1, right hand to the left knee. Option 2, straighten your left leg, catch the outside of your foot, and reach your left arm back. Now, if you've got your foot, I want you to focus more on your standing leg being straight. So if your standing knee is bent, maybe you need to bend that left knee and just stay there today. Open up through the chest. See if you can gaze back towards your left thumb. Release and unwind. Let's all bend that left knee and hold for 3, 2. Keep your left knee bent. Start to bend your right knee until they meet on the mat in the chair pose. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, forward fold. Now, I'll walk you through Bakasana, crow pose. Totally optional. If you prefer push-ups or plank, go ahead and take that instead. I like to walk my feet back a bit, spread the fingers nice and wide. Put a little shelf into the elbows. Elbows back like Chaturanga. Drive your knees up as high as you can towards your armpits. Squeeze the inner thighs more than you think you need to. Look in front of your mat, little tuck of your chin. Maybe you start by lifting one foot and then the other. Again, grip with the palms and the pads of the fingers. Squeeze your core and the inner thighs. Steady your breath. When you're ready, step, jump, or float your feet back. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you're curious more about getting into crow pose, other arm balances, or jumping back into Chaturanga, I do have a online 1 week to inversions and arm balances workshop, which is on Vimeo. So I'll go ahead and link that in the notes here. Inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, step up to your left thumb. Drop your right knee, sweep both arms up, low lunge. Exhale, arms back, hover your chest, half split. Turn your left toes in, right shin behind you. Right hand to the back of the mat, stretch your left arm overhead, gates. Take a breath in. Exhale, crunch your elbow to your knee. Step your left foot outside of your right knee. Shift your weight back and then forward to a standing L. You're balancing on your left leg. Step your right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Press into your feet, rise all the way up, look up. Big step out with your left foot, bind your hands behind your back. Inhale, curl back, open. Exhale, fold with a bind. Release, hands to the mat, halfway lift. Walk it all the way over to the front runner. Adjust your feet, inhale, rise up, Crescent Warrior. Stamp through your left heel, take a breath. Breath out, twist, left arm back, right arm forward. Press those palms back. Feel this in your right hip flexor. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, straighten left leg as you sweep arms back. Bind your hands, start to shift your weight forward into a warrior 3. Stay balancing on your left leg as you come up to stand, hug your right knee into your chest. Right knee into your chest, take a figure 4. Right ankle over your left thigh, hands to heart. Keep your right foot flexed, drive your sitting bones back and down. Stamp through your left heel. We'll work to straighten the left leg, hug the right knee up. Option 1, hand to knee. Option 2, hand to foot. Try whatever you did, side 1. Again, focus more on the standing leg being straight. You're opening the chest to the right. Press the right palm back and see if you can maybe look towards your right thumb. If your knee is bent, keep your right foot flexed for 3, 2, 1. Unwind. Hands to heart center. Hold your right foot there for 3, 2. Keep the bend in your knee. Just start to bend your left knee until you lower to chair pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Same option for Bakasana, crow pose. Plant your hands, hips stay up nice and high, make a shelf with your elbows. Shift your weight forward, stay here, or both feet lift up for 3. Push-ups, plank is always an option, 2. 1, step jump or float back, take your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, crunch, knee to nose. Inhale, send your right leg all the way up and back. Crunch to your left elbow. Inhale all the way back. Crunch to your right elbow. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Figure 4, down dog. Bend both knees. Lift your left heel up. Let your head hang heavy. Press down through your palms. Keep your right leg as it is. Start to shift your weight forward to a pigeon pose. Right knee behind your right wrist. Walk your left leg back a bit. Stay upright or come down to forearms. Maybe you stack your hands to make a little pillow for your forehead. Got about 6 breaths here. Any options that you'd like in your pigeon pose. If you prefer, you can always come onto a seat or onto your back for a figure 4 stretch. Notice where your weight distribution is. If you're rolling a lot onto your right hip, try to press down more through the top of the left foot, left thigh. One more deep breath. Start to walk your hands back up under your shoulders. Slide your right knee more between your thumbs, so more towards the center of your mat. Glide or slide your left knee up behind your right, and then take a seat back onto your sitting bones. So we're in a cow face pose. If cow face is not an option or just doesn't feel good today, you can always stack your shins with the right leg on top, or take a seated figure 4 with the right leg up. So we're in cow face, shin stacking, or figure 4, stretching the right hip. If you're in cow face, let's go ahead and walk those hands forward. Try to keep your right sitting bone on the mat. I struggle a lot with this, so just think of it being weighted and pulling it back down constantly. You should feel a constant stretch in the outer hips here. If you don't, bring your right foot more back towards your left hip. Start to walk your hands back in towards you. Plant your right foot outside of your left knee. Left leg can stay bent, or if it's too much, straighten your left leg. We're gonna twist to the right. Hook your left elbow over your right knee. Plant your right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Start to unwind that. We'll take a counter stretch to the left. Plant both hands outside your left hip. Dip your torso down and release that. Now, keeping this left leg as is, use your left hand to grab your right foot, kick your right leg forward, and then try to reach your right arm back. So we basically did this same thing standing, but it's a lot easier on your seat. Release, right hand down, straighten your right leg, unwind your left leg. Go ahead and pedal out those legs a bit. You can start to rock up and down the length of your spine to gain some momentum, or you can just cross your ankles, plant your hands, step back, optional vinyasa to downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, We'll lift the left leg up. Use your exhale to crunch knee to nose. Inhale to lift your leg up. Exhale to crunch to the right elbow. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale to the left elbow. And then cross your left ankle over your right thigh, figure four, down dog. Lift your left heel, actively press the palms forward and down. Keep this shape with the left leg, just shift your weight forward, plant your knee behind your wrist, pigeon pose. Again, 6 breaths here, so any variation, try to even out whatever you did on side 1. Notice kind of the uncomfortable or difficult sensation starts to dissipate as you breathe into that space. Just as we created a lot of space and awareness with our belly breathing in the beginning of class, you can create a lot of space here in your hips just by noticing and being intentional with your breath. Two more breaths in pigeon. Start to walk your hands back up under your shoulders. Bring your left knee more towards the center, in between your thumbs. Slide your right knee up behind your left. Take cow face, logs or shin stacking, or figure four on your seat. Left leg is out on top. If you're in cow face, let's walk those hands forward. Try to glue the left sitting bone down to the mat and breathe into your outer hips. Start to walk your hands back up under your shoulders. Crawl yourself out. Plant your left foot outside your right knee. We're going for a twist to the left. Hook, right elbow, left knee, and twist. Pressing down with that left hand is going to kind of act like a kickstand and help you twist more. Slowly unwind through center, take a counter stretch to the right. Plant both hands outside your right hip and kind of dip your torso down. Lift yourself back up. Keep your right leg as it is. Right hand catches the left foot. Extend your left leg forward. Reach your left arm back. So if this was difficult in standing, maybe you couldn't straighten your top leg, this is a great way to practice at least getting the twist and the rotation through your torso. The rest is going to be in the hips, so it's a little bit more difficult. It takes more practice, which is why we're here. Unwind. Let your left foot come to the mat. Unwind your right leg. Send both legs forward and shake them out. Remove kind of the soft part of your seat out from underneath you. Wiggle into your sitting bones. Stretch your arms up and lengthen, and exhale to fold over your legs. Bend your knees as much as you need. Try to crawl your belly down your thighs. Think sternum towards your ankles, nose towards your big toes. You're catching whatever's available. So maybe that's your shins, your ankles, your feet, or you can catch your wrist in front of your feet. Wherever you feel the stretch is exactly where you should be. Start to walk yourself out all the way down onto your back, where we'll hug both knees into the chest. Traditional bridge pose, plant your feet, toes point forward, arms by your side. Ground down through your heels, little tuck of your pelvis, lift your hips. Press down through the back of your skull. Stay here, clasp your hands underneath you for a bind. Inner thighs squeeze towards each other. Keep your knees in line with your hips. Lighten the toes. 3, 2, 1. Release your hands if they're bound. Slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. You have the option to take bridge pose again, upward facing bow, or I'll guide you through a butterfly bridge pose. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Arms stay by your side. So your hands are kind of underneath your butt, underneath your thighs. Press the feet together and down into the mat. Lift your hips up. They won't go as high. Keep pressing the bottoms of the feet together. Squeeze the glute muscles towards each other and let the knees fall out. Should feel pretty nice. If it doesn't, you can definitely take something else for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower everything down. Bring the knees together and into your chest. We'll bring both knees over to the left for a twist. Right arm to the right. Any way that feels good, any twist. The more active you want to make it, you can squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. More passive, just release. Knees up through center when you're ready. Reset your spine, adjust the hips, and then bring your knees over to the right, gaze left. Mimic whatever you did on side 1. Slow unwind through center when you're ready. One final squeeze or any final posture you'd like to close out your practice. On an inhale, extend your feet to the top corners of your mat. Arms sprawl off your mat, or one hand heart, one hand to your belly. Release any contraction that's still going on in your body. Maybe the inner thighs, the jaw, maybe the upper back. Can you walk the shoulder blades underneath you just to open the chest a little bit more? Let your lips part and your breath return to a natural state. There's no need to try to take the deep belly breath or force the breath in any way. If your mind does start to wander, you can come back to your breathing without trying to change it. Just observe. We'll be here for about a minute. Start to bring a little awareness back to your body, maybe the fingers, the toes. Rock your head side to side. Big stretch, arms overhead, toes point, lengthen. Feel the length, this space you've created the past 50 minutes. And hug your knees into your chest. Roll to the right or left side, fetal pose. Use this as a transition to make your way up to a seat. Any comfortable position. Hands can be in your lap or on your knees. Find some length through your spine. Sinking sensation through your hips. Bring both hands to heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Take a full breath in. Open your mouth, deep sigh. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. If you did enjoy this flow, this class, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button. And like I did mention in class, if you're interested in learning more or strengthening for those inversions and funky transitions in class, I do have a workshop on Vimeo, which you can check out via the link below. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you next week.